Navigating a hearing world as a hard of hearing or deaf student is sometimes overwhelming. Understanding the large amount of language part of every school day is usually daunting. Choosing to do whatever it takes to hear and understand as much as possible is always challenging. This is choosing to advocate. These students meet the challenge. Every day they choose to advocate. They choose to stand up for themselves. They choose to make others aware of their needs. They choose to level the playing field. They choose Young people who are hard of hearing or deaf face any number of challenges each day. Listening, learning, and socializing in noisy environments can make understanding truly difficult. One of the most significant challenges, however, can't be heard. It is within each student. It's the challenge to advocate for themselves, to do whatever it takes to hear and understand as much as possible. Hearing advocacy means doing things like wearing hearing aids or FM systems all the time, asking friends to sit on your good side, choosing to sit in front of class, using an interpreter or note-taker in class, taking the risk to participate in activities knowing hearing or understanding everything said must be challenging. Hearing advocates recognize hearing is a part of who they are, but they never let hearing limit them or define what they can do. Hearing advocates choose to be doers, players, learners, teachers, and volunteers. They choose
I stay after school if I don't get anything or if I need extra help.
I'm a freshman. It's my adult hearing loss. In both ears, I wear hearing aids. I also use an FM system at school.
You have to go a little bit farther than other people because you have to be able to hear everything that's going on, and because I'm deaf in one ear, I lose some of the stereo quality that I might have had if I had both ears.
When children are young, their parents and teachers are responsible for making sure they are able to hear as much as they possibly can in every situation. However, as children go through their teen years and become young adults, the responsibility for advocating begins to shift to the students themselves.
Throughout my education, I have realized that I have to advocate for myself. Without advocating, I would not be as successful as I am today. Advocating for me means teaching others about my hearing loss, telling them of my needs in order to have equal access to the information, and establishing a connection with my teachers so I can voice my concerns. It means being able to stand up for yourself in a way that others do not have the chance to.
However, as teens, the need to fit in often outweighs the need to hear as much as possible.
I had plenty of time when people teased me, called me deaf, couldn't hear anything, but I shrugged it off. Like when I was little, I had a hard time doing it. I wanted to fit in a normal group. When I grew up, I saw so many people missing a leg, missing an arm, and it's just it's like nothing.
For people who want to do that, and they sometimes tease me, but I leave them alone, and then in return they leave me alone.
When I'm at school, I get really embarrassed because I want to tell teachers I can't hear, but I'm thinking to myself what happens if those kids think, oh, I'm weird, or I'm deaf and stuff like that. But now I grew up and I'm I don't care anymore.
Educate people about what you're doing, because not only will it give them a better understanding, but honestly, the more you do it, the more you talk to teachers and the more you tell your friends, it's almost empowering, because what you'll do is
It is the key to their academic, social, and real-world success.
Since I knew that my hearing might be a problem joining a whole bunch of clubs, I actually found out a way how to get over with it, and I'm just in a lot of clubs and activities.
I like to use my FM system to know things, because if I don't have it on, I can't really understand what they are talking about. And if I have it on, I have it. I know everything the teacher's talking about.
One advantage to being partially deaf, and that's selective hearing. Your parents tell you to clean your room, you can't hear them. They're talking about your allowance, you can hear them fine 2 rooms away.
This year, the Energizer Battery Company and Illinois Teachers of Hard of Hearing Deaf Individuals Area 11 recognized 2 exceptional hearing advocates. Tanya Karras and Dhhaoy Durham have learned to do whatever it takes. They regularly advocate for themselves so they can hear and understand as much as possible. And they surely have not let hearing define or limit them in any way. Dhhaoy Durham is a junior at Joliet Central High School. He is a great example of a hearing advocates for his own needs rather than waiting for someone to do it for him.
If he doesn't understand something in practice, he comes up and asks.
Disability wrestling is how much heart you got. He's got a tremendous heart.
I love wrestling about my heart, and I just love doing it every day. Because once I come to school, I always focus on my work first. And once school is finished, I focus on wrestling later.
I love having. I'm glad he's part of our program, because he just, he knows what he can do, and he carries that through his daily life here. And when he gets stuck, he does. He asks for help. He's not afraid to say, I don't know.
Dhhaoy has changed so much since he was a freshman. He came in here and when he was a freshman, he was everybody's big brother as a freshman. But now we've seen him develop into a fine young man who's still everybody's big brother. He kind of takes care of all the students who are in the hearing impaired program.
I have a lot of friends. Most of them are hearing, and some of them are hard of hearing just like me.
Dhhaoy is someone that I can really depend on, and it amazes me that he functions so highly here at school and then comes home and can do 110% at home too. So I love him.
Tanya Karras is another exceptional hearing advocate. This honor student is a junior at Amos Alonzo Stagg High School in Palos Hills.
At the beginning of the school year, I have to tell each of my teachers, I have this hearing loss, but, I'm not going to let it get in the way of me, learning in your class. And so there are a couple things that I might need you to do.
Tanya has to be one of the best students that I think I've had in a long time. She's just anytime that she is confused about something, she, just like every other student, raises her hand, asks a question. She never really seems to be embarrassed at all about her hearing, which is great, because she shouldn't be.
The reason that I decided to nominate Tanya for this award is because I feel that she really demonstrates acceptance of her hearing loss. She is not afraid that other people will find out that she has a hearing loss. She
editor of the school newspaper and on the school dance team. Tanya learned the necessity of self-advocating during a dance competition. She had trouble finding the beat of the music due to echo and reverberation.
It was very hard for me to compete. And at that competition, we actually we won first place,
but like after I competed, like I was just, I don't know, I was like so like devastated because like, I felt like I had somehow failed myself, like because I couldn't hear it.
She said, I can't hear the music, so I need you to count the music for me, you know, while we're dancing. And I said, oh, you can't hear the music? You know, I kind of was like, why can't you hear the music? And she informed me that she had hearing loss. And so I said, okay, you know, we'll make sure. And it's been almost a constant process over and over of doing that. And she'll remind me.
Tanya consistently gives more than 100% effort to whatever she is doing and has benefited enormously from self-advocating.
Advocating for myself on a more frequent basis has ultimately allowed me to feel more comfortable with my hearing loss. I no longer view it as a barrier in my life. It is just another obstacle that there are a million ways around. All I have to do is find them.
So, if you are a student thinking about whether it will be okay to let people know what you need related to hearing, be sure you remember these students and their advice. Choosing to do whatever it takes to hear and understand as much as possible. That is, choosing to advocate is always rewarding.
I choose